All right, guys, welcome to Gaming Site Episode 1. This is the very first one. I'm here with my co-host, Supabounce. How you doing, my dude? And you doing good today?
Yo, dude, what's up?
Hey. Hey, what's good? What's good? Anyways, today,
Y'all can't see my face right now, but y'all can see Buzz's, so.
no, they can't see my face either. This is an all-audio podcast for
Oh,
you
shit.
guys. It's like listening to two really good sounding
cuss?
dudes. Fuck yeah, dude. What do you mean? Like, this is not a family-friendly podcast either. So if you have children and you're listening to this on YouTube or any of the major podcast locations, I apologize, but get the kids out of the room because it's time to talk about some gaming insight. You hear me? I'll let you get some time. Anyways, everyone go grab some water, some refreshments. That's what I'm saying. Have a good time. Anyways, today we got some pretty spicy topics today to talk about, but we also have some other things that I think that a lot of people are going to enjoy as well. My co-host Supa here has been enjoying Splitgate a lot recently. I've been playing it a lot as well, and actually I want to get like Supa's perspective on like what he thinks like Splitgate is, why it's so great, why there's a lot of people trying it out right now, and why there's this massive retention to it. Why are there so many people flocking to it? Like, what do you think?
Well, honestly, my first time playing Splitgate was at High Res Expo. They were at DreamHack, and me and Joshino were just kind of walking around. We were checking out like all the booths and whatnot. They had like a bunch of indie games and shit. And Splitgate kind of popped because it was like taking up a whole like lane, and they had like 8 computers set out. And I guess there was a developer there. I don't know who the guy was. He's like, "Hey man, you guys want to try this shit out?" Because we weren't watching Paladins because we were like, "Fuck that shit. Let's go fucking have some fun and walk around." And I got on it and I played it, and this was like way before there was like any kind of like, it was just polygons on the map and shit. They had the portals. They had like 2 or 3 guns.
So wait, you're telling me
And
it's a lot like Paladins, like the in development maps? You're talking about like that?
yeah, kind of like if you guys ever played like test maps for any games, it was like that.
Okay,
We
yeah,
got
yeah.
in there, we scrimmaged it up. I was like, this is pretty cool. It's pretty fun. But this was like back in 2018. This was real early into the game's life. I don't even know when the game like
Officially
came
launched.
out.
Yeah. That's the same with me. It's like I've never heard about it other than like Bacon came on. For a lot of you guys that don't know, Bacon's like one of my good time viewers. Plays a lot of Tarky with me. He came in and was like, "Hey, I found this game called Splitgate. You should come try it. It's like Halo with portals." And I was like, "I'm not interested." Like completely blew it off. Like I was just like, I
Oh
have
yeah, I
so
remember Bacon
much.
talking about that.
Yeah, I was just like, I have so much that I'm doing right now. I just don't think that I would have enough time. And then I saw Supa playing it, and I was like, man, that looks hella fun. And I feel like I've heard this name from somewhere, Splitgate. I went and tried it, and Bacon, literally the first time I streamed it, came in and was like, bro, like, what the fuck? I told you about this game. Why did you not, like, listen to me back then? And I was like, honestly, it didn't sound fun until I actually played it. It's hella fun. Like, it's got the Halo aspects with like the battle rifle and team SWAT, where you can get those insta head taps, and man, those are the most like just
Right.
the most fun game mode that exists. But then they also have like that revolving game mode as well, and I think that's one thing that really brings like life to the game, where Halo is kind of like died off. It not really died off, but it's died off right now in
I
their
kind of agree with you
multiplayer,
on that. The whole like different kind
like
of game modes. It
Fiesta.
seems like most FPS games are battle royale, drop in, be the
Mm-hmm.
last to survive, and then you have like your hero shooters where their variety comes in from like their characters having
Mm-hmm.
different skill sets and whatnot.
Yep.
But you didn't have like those old school like capture the flag, the oddball thing, the juggernaut, the
Mm-hmm.
whole yeah, that kind of those kind of game modes did kind of die out if you think about it.
Yeah, and like if you look at like Halo, they had 3 popular game modes: SWAT, Oddball, and I wouldn't even call King of the Hill, just their like team deathmatch, where like their
King of the
3
Hill was another
number
one, yeah.
ones, and then you would have like Team Rockets or Team Snipers or Team I can't remember like what all the crazy game modes were. And then what made Halo better though is that you could go into the Forge and make your own maps, make your own game modes. Like that is what set
Oh
Halo
yeah,
apart.
yeah.
Is like being able to go in and like do crazy shit on a map. Like you don't have all that customization on Splitgate, but like where I think Splitgate does come in to be like a little bit of a better version of Halo is having a revolving door of game modes. They don't offer all of them at once. Instead, they have them on
Right.
this like rotation cycle. I think that is what's like keeping a lot of interest in the game instead of having all your game modes available. Instead, just like give like little breadcrumbs here and there to the fish, so it like keeps them around.
I know. I mean, another thing too about Splitgate is that Halo. It's been what 5 years since they released a Halo game,
Anything, yeah, they've been really
and
quiet.
the whole like when they revealed Halo at what was it E3 last year or whatever, it was trash.
Oh, there was
Nobody
nothing.
was impressed. 5 years just for that.
Yeah,
They even made a meme out of that brute that they so I forgot his name, but
the polygons.
so people weren't liking that, and I feel like Splitgate just took that whole whatever Halo's shooter gunplay was and just took it and ran with it, you know?
Yeah,
People like it.
absolutely. And see, I think it's just like really good for a game to come out and be sort of like Halo, because Halo was game changing. I don't know if anybody remembers, but when Xbox came out and Halo was the release
The
title,
original Xbox, yeah.
Combat Evolved was insane. It was
It was good, man. It
insane.
was
Yeah.
great. It was one of the first real FPS games I started like diving into.
Oh yeah.
The
Me and my
first
little
online
brother.
shooter game I really played a lot too.
That was like me and my brother's first FPS game. And we spent
I remember.
hundreds of
Go ahead.
hours
Go ahead.
just playing through like the legendary campaign. And when we finally beat it, the first time we beat it
Mhm.
on legendary, it was the biggest wave of success. And then not too long after that is when 360 came out, and that's also when they released Halo 2. And Halo 2 was an even bigger hit. It was like Halo.
Halo 2 was on the original Xbox.
Was it? Yeah, it was. It was. It was.
Halo 3 was on the 360.
But it wasn't a release title. Halo 2 came out like a year after, or a year and a half after Halo, because it was like such a, like there was such a calling for the game. There were so many people like, just please give me more of this story. I gotta know. I gotta know what happens to Master Chief. Like you left me on this like cliffhanger. And then Halo 2 comes out and it blows up like in proportions that they weren't even ready. They sold so many copies of Halo 2 that it was backed until like the next Christmas. There were people still not getting their copy of Halo 2. It was
Did
insane.
Halo Halo 1 had online play, right? Did it?
Not
I think the PC version had online play. But you
yeah, I
just
don't think it
joined
had.
rooms, right? Is that how it worked?
Yeah, I
There
think it
wasn't no
was like
matchmaking,
it
right?
was LAN. It was all LAN. We didn't have like matchmaking
Because
until Halo 2.
yeah, Halo 2 is when Xbox Live kind of became a
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
And
Cuz
people were
Xbox
like, "Oh
Live
shit, this is
wasn't
like groundbreaking
mhm. I
for
and
console gamers." This yeah.
that's why I say like Halo 2 was like the original Call of Duty. Like bringing people together and people playing on an online platform and that salty behavior. It all started with Halo 2. God damn. Like now we know.
The teabagging.
The teabagging. God.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's something I
Damn
like to
Halo,
do.
man.
Uh,
I remember playing Halo with my brother and his friends.
mhm.
He had this friend who was like his dad was a lawyer. He was super rich. He like gave his whole attic to his kid, and it was my brother's friend. And there'd be like 12 of us, just nerds, just three Xboxes. We would, land it up. There would be a TV on the floor. We were all playing like a bunch of game modes. And that's
Yes.
something I feel like, is definitely dead now because of online, right? But it was still a
Yeah,
lot of fun.
absolutely. I think like one of my favorite things was we used to go to lock-ins at church, and there was this one particular church that had a racquetball court, and we would take a projector, or we would have like multiple TVs inside of this room. Probably, I think it was like 3 or 4 different TVs, and then a projector, where like a projector would play 4 people.
Hmm.
All 3 of the other TVs, I think it was 3 TVs now that I think about it, would play the other 12 people, and we would have a full 16-man LAN party going on. That's where it all started for me, was like those LAN
Right.
parties where you get like just a bunch of freaking people, and multiple people get to rotate throughout the night, and like being able to like compete against good, bad, terrible, amazing, like that's where it all started for me.
I gotta ask you though, your church let you play that game, man?
Hell yeah, they
They were cool
did.
about that.
It was a
They got
lock-in.
aliens and shit in that game.
It was a lock-in, so it wasn't like they were monitoring what we were doing. It was more they were just like, "Oh, y'all want to play some video games on a projector? Hell yeah,
Oh,
we'll
so it's
set
like you
that up."
spend the night at church? Is that what that
Yeah,
is?
yeah. You like it was like after a football game, we would have like our football game. We would all go do our marching because I was in the
Do you
band, and
drink the
then
blood of Christ?
fuck no. I mean, yeah, back then, but I mean not now.
The
But
wine, dude. It's wine, right? Or some shit?
no, not at this church. It was, well, I mean, actually, yeah, that was a Catholic church, so that we went to, so yeah, probably for them. But no, for us it was always grape juice. It
Oh,
just
okay. I
super
was just
bitter.
curious. I was like, okay, so they playing Halo out there? That's pretty dope. I might need to go to church.
I mean, that was like
I
the
never
really
went to
cool thing
church.
about that church is like they didn't care. They didn't try to correlate that like Harry Potter was the devil, or that video games were talking about all this mature rated stuff. Like they didn't care about that. They were just like, kids will be kids, let them be kids, you know.
Right,
That's what I
right.
really appreciate about that church. But then we had another lock in that, pff, oh god, there were like people having sex behind couches. No lie.
So they were doing,
they,
they ain't gonna
they
be able to
going to
make it up the
hell.
rapture, bro. When the
Hell no.
rapture happens, they ain't floating up to heaven naked, bro.
Hell no. They dead. They going to hell.
They don't send in the house of God.
Oh man,
Yeah.
man. But yeah,
Speaking
LAN
of
parties.
yeah, land.
Go ahead. No, what were you saying?
I was just saying, like, I feel like you don't see those big, like, 16v16 or whatever it was, that it was like 8, whatever it was, 8v8,
Talking about the.
getting in the vehicle, riding the
hmm
cars into, get the flag and stuff.
I think it was 16v16 is what they had for like Halo 2, maybe?
You could have
Maybe
like
Halo
32
3 is when
players,
that
yeah.
came around. Because it was like Ground War or something. It was called something else, so.
Yeah, kind of like Ground War and COD. Wait, how
I
many
remember
people were allowed in Ground War on COD? Like, it was a
64.
lot
I
of
think it was
people.
32. But like for Halo, it was a lot smaller because you had fucking Gauss cannons going, you had vehicles, you had tanks. Like, dude, that
You know what I thought was the
freaking.
coolest thing ever?
What's that?
When you were riding the tank, the Rhino, it's called the Rhino, right? Is that what it
Mm-hmm.
was? You could get your ass sniped
Oh, yeah.
because your head would always stick out a little bit. And if they had a good sniper on your team, that was it. And then they would just steal the thing from you.
In the Rhino, the.
Yeah, didn't the Rhino have like the cockpit? You could see the Chief's head poking out, and you could get sniped in it, right?
I
Is
thought they
that? I feel
fixed
like that was
that.
a thing.
I feel like they didn't have that because you beat people out of it. You would go up and you would beat the
This might have been
thing.
Halo 1. Halo 2, yeah, that was one of the craziest things where you could just jump on somebody's vehicle and just snatch that shit. That was
Yeah,
dope as hell.
you would like beat somebody out of it, dude. That like there's not any other game like that. That's what's crazy. And
You don't really see a lot of vehicles in games these days
no, not at all.
in terms of
And
like multiplayer games. I mean, Battlefield's gonna always have that. That's what makes Battlefield unique, right?
yeah, it's a full battlefield, like helicopters,
But if you think
tanks,
about some of these other
jeeps.
games like Apex, you get in the car, man, you share your shield with that thing. What the hell?
Oh yeah.
Or
I
like
I
PUBG, stuff like that.
I was thinking about this. Like Tarkov actually has a new update coming out when the Streets of Tarkov come out, and
Oh
they're
wow.
introducing an APC, which is you know what a striker is? Have you ever heard of that?
No, I
Go look
haven't.
up go look up military vehicle striker. But
So they're
it's
gonna
going to be
actually have
the
cars and EFT.
no, not necessarily. An APC, it's going to be a boss that you have to fight. That's in the Streets of
Oh,
Tarkov map. And you have to fight a vehicle with just small
Ah, I
arms
see.
fire and shit and stuff that like you take in. So you're gonna be fighting against one of those with a big 20 millimeter cannon, and that's insane. Or maybe it's only a 10 millimeter cannon, but still, it's a big ass fucking gun you have to deal with.
Right.
I can't wait for that. That's what I'm waiting for. That's honestly the wipe that I want to play is Streets of Tarkov because it's going to be fun. Streets of Tarkov is going to be the biggest map that they release. It's going to be like a bunch of like urban environment. Like think like a downtown city is basically what you're fighting in the entire time. And you can go in every single building, go up and down, left and right. Like, there's multiple rooms. Like, dude, it just it's gonna be so many corners that you have to cover and so many angles. Like, oh, it's gonna piss me off because like I'm gonna get killed by someone that I don't see in a building that's probably like 3 buildings over, but
Yeah,
can
like
he's looking
blocks
at an
away.
angle. Ah, it's gonna be so good. Like I can't wait for that. But
So more on the Splitgate.
yeah.
I know when it first initially came out in 2019, me and a couple of guys we tried it, but it just didn't click with us, and we didn't play it.
Like it all.
But well, I think me and Skylar and a couple guys played it, but I don't know. I just wasn't really feeling it.
Mm-hmm.
I
Like
don't know
what
if it
was
was
wrong
because it
with it?
just released. I guess it felt kind of buggy and not as smooth.
Mm.
But I remember someone telling me that Splitgate was able to raise like $10 million for their project by 2021 from investors, and they were able to use that money to just make the quality of life of the game way, way better.
That's
And
crazy.
when they brought what is it? Crossplay is when the game came back to life. I don't know if it's because maybe a lot of console players are playing it, and so PC was able to resurrect the PC community.
That's usually what happens. Like when you bring the consoles over, you know there's a lot of kids that just like to play games. And when they found Splitgate and thought it was a lot like Halo, they're like, "Oh shit, we can play Halo on PS5 now.
This
Look
is
at
this is
that."
gonna this is gonna satiate our Halo urge until
Mhm.
Infinite comes out.
Yep, absolutely. And all those people that are playing Splitgate right now and they only have a PS5, it's it's going to like further like just drive that want and that need to get a Xbox One or whatever for or a
Yeah, we don't
PC.
know when Infinite comes out.
Yeah.
My question is, a lot of people that, like on my stream, they talk about like, oh, well, when Halo Infinite comes out, everybody's just going to drop Splitgate.
Mm.
I think personally that it might be the other way around. I know this might be a shot in the dark, but I feel like Halo Infinite 343 Games is making it. So they
Ooh.
made the last Halo, and I heard that was hot garbage, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, Halo 4 was also made by 343 and that was really amazing. So,
So they made
like hey,
one good one, then they made a bad one, right? Because I stopped
yeah.
playing Halo after 3.
Yep.
So I don't know much about 3. I don't know much about the 343 boys. But I'll tell you this, I feel like they're gonna fuck up, man. I feel like 5 years of development, and that's what they had to show for last year. I mean, and
Hey,
they've
maybe
been
they turned
developing
it
for another
around
year.
though. Like that's the thing is like maybe they got the funding where they could do it, but at the same time like COVID happened in 2020 and they probably didn't have enough time to really work on it. And now the Delta strain is coming out and it's causing a hamper on them again. Like who knows? Who knows like what the reason for them taking 5 years, but maybe they have something good to show. And if they don't, then that's fine. We can all go play Splitgate and enjoy that because that's a damn good game.
E3 2021 this year was horrible. Oh,
Oh, a
I don't know.
thousand percent.
I didn't really watch it, so didn't
It
really
was
care too
super
much. I feel
horrible.
like any kind of event that is like should have been in person and was online, I just didn't care about, you know?
Let me get your opinion on something else. I know like this was talked about a little bit a little while ago. Like we had, and we've definitely talked about this a lot on both of our channels. But the Blizzard sex scandal and all that, or not, it's not even like really about sex. It's more about like just the harassment claims and like just the poor quality of like work environment that they have for females. Like, what's your take on all that?
I feel like a bunch of nerds
Mm-hmm.
that weren't really like, they were college graduates. They came to work for
Mm-hmm.
Blizzard because they love video games. They came to make money and do what, most nerds do, high tech stuff. But they got all this money from Blizzard because, Blizzard, obviously makes a lot of money. And they started, having this kind of cockiness feel, I guess, at work,
Mm-hmm.
thus creating that toxic environment. Oh, hey, I make all this money. I can do whatever the fuck I want. I feel like maybe that's what kind of happened. And so they just kind of like started, pushing the wrong buttons and
They
started
felt
harassing.
invincible. They
Yeah.
felt like I can't be touched. Like I work at Blizzard and like all my bosses love me and they do this type of shit. They're super toxic towards females. Like, oh, I can get away with this. And then like it took a while. Like the
Uh huh.
water was boiling for a while and then all of a sudden it started to boil over and the women just couldn't take it anymore.
Yeah,
And they
they
came
were
out.
building up a case for 2 years, right? Is that what it
Yeah,
was? Something
yeah.
like
They
that.
were they were 2 years the state of California was looking into this. And with California, the state of California suing Blizzard, that's not a good thing. That is the entire state. That's not
You
just like
know,
some single law firm. That's multiple law firms working together.
today is the day that they're supposed to like come out with um I forget what it is. It's like you have like once the thing happens, you have like 30 days to like come out with, what is going on in
Mm.
your lawsuit. And like today's the day they're supposed to reveal that.
Oh,
I don't know if like anything's being happened. Like I don't know if anything's being talked about. Like I'm refreshing all my shit, but I haven't seen anything yet. If anybody in chat knows anything about that, let me know.
yeah, definitely. I wanna know about that, and we could talk about that right now. Because like
Yeah.
I think that this is still a very hot topic, and a lot of people
Oh
have
hell yeah, dude.
stopped talking
Everybody's on
about
the
it.
edge of their seat trying to figure
Yeah.
out what the hell.
And see, that's
I
the
know
thing is like
recent
nobody's talking about it anymore. Nobody. Like you go to Asmongold, like he'll talk about it like once a week or something just to keep it like a fresh topic. But when it comes to like other like agencies and everything, like trying to like talk about what's going on with Blizzard Activision, how much have you heard about it in the past 2 weeks? Like nothing. Nothing at all.
it's
Other
been pretty
than
quiet. Yeah.
yeah, and that's what kind of scares me is like are they settling on something or is Blizzard just going to pay out something and then like n- not I don't know. There has to be something done to Blizzard because this is too much. Like the amount
I
of
know they lost a lot of sponsors. Like their whole Overwatch league, they were like trying to like bring out this
what?
whole like, trying to make Overwatch like a whole like I don't know, kind of like a sports type deal, like gaming sports in a
Mhm.
sense as like on the same level as like, NBA and NFL and all that, but they lost
I
a
mean,
lot of sponsors with this shit, man.
dude, the NBA, NFL, and Major League Baseball, all the sports that you usually see on TV are losing sponsors anyways, dude. There's a lot of things that go on like when they're supposed to just be playing a game, but instead they do other things that draw people away from it. There's a lot of people that watch games that aren't into politics, but when you watch sports nowadays, it's all about politics. It's all people about like speaking political agendas to you. That's what the whole kneeling and everything during the national anthem, everything. That's just political agenda. And people don't want that. They don't want that with their sports. So it's drawing people away from the game itself. And like that's the truth of what's going on and why it's hurting like all these like major sports and everything is there's too much woke agenda and people don't like that. People don't want to tune into a football game and then be hit with like political bullshit when they don't care about politics. They just want to watch a game because they enjoy the game.
Right.
But past all that, I got a question for everyone that's watching on Supa's stream right now, everyone that's in the audience right now. Comment below: is WoW dying? Is WoW dying? I'll give you my take on this and like why I believe yes, it is dying, and it has nothing to do with Blizzard and all the crap that's going on with it. It's the simple fact that they keep coming out with things that only keep your interest for a little while, like Torghast. Torghast was really fun. It was a good experience at first, but when they came out with 9.1 and you found out that all the legendaries that you busted your ass off for an entire month, you literally worked your butt off for that legendary. You found out that you got to do it all over again because the domination sockets or whatever that came out basically required you to go and do all of that over again. You have to make a new legendary. You have to grind out all the soul ash again, and then like all of that. That's one part of it. But then on top of that, their dailies have grown stale. It's not as fun and engaging like the dailies were back in Wrath of the Lich King. The dailies back then took you everywhere. You weren't just stuck in what do they call that soul area? Supa, help me out with this.
The
Where is
tree
Torghast?
place,
No, the sword. Where is Torghast located? What is that zone where there's no mounts?
the mall.
The mall. Yes, the mall is where you're like stuck, and like it. The mall has just not ever been like a fun place for me. I never saw it as fun. It's very dreary and sad looking. But like, if you go back to Wrath of the Lich King, you had to go to Grizzly Hills, and there was like your the War Song
The
lumber
rep, right?
camp.
It was rep grinding, right?
Yeah, exactly. But the rep grinding and everything was different. Like when you go out and do this, there's a purpose to you going to do it other than just having to get like certain things so you can be more powerful for a boss. Instead, what Wrath of the Lich King was about was grinding up that rep so you could get like mounts, so you could get like maybe gear to help you early
Th-
on.
There was
But
like blue gear you could get. I
yeah,
remember that if you were
but
like exalted.
But these daily grinds were fun because PvP was super involved in it. Like when you go to the Warsong Lumber Camp in Grizzly Hills and you're fighting over sprockets and shredders and all the little the wood that you had to farm, and there's alliance everywhere and you have to kill alliance members for that daily quest. That was fun as fuck. I enjoyed the shit out of that.
This was
When you had
back
to
when there
go.
was PvP servers,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, actually, yeah. And
Yeah.
I mean, there were dailies that you could do in the Borean tundra. There were dailies that you could do in winter, or not winter grasp, uh, ICC, wherever ICC is located. I can't remember that zone now, but it was just like a different feel to everything. Everything just felt different. And that's what I miss is like the daily grind now is so stale and boring and it doesn't have like a purpose other than like you have to collect this stupid soul dust that makes no sense that you don't even need anymore. Uh like the rep grind that you're doing for the mall is literally just for like recipes and shit that are completely useless now in 9.1. It's just stupid. They have completely killed the game with the daily grinds, with the weekly grinds. You have free gear that is given to you every single week. All you have to do is go out and do one mythic plus at 15 or higher, and you get a free piece of gear. Like, that's stupid. Like, don't do that. Make people work for it. Like, a 15 is not even a hard key to do. I don't know. I
I
just feel like they.
know with the mythic thing, it kind of like for me at least, it kind of killed the idea of raiding.
Yeah. You don't
But I
even have to
mean,
raid
people
anymore.
like mythics. Me, I mean, they're all right, but
It just reminds me of like
I prefer
keystones
raiding.
on Diablo. That's all it felt like. What do you call that keystone shit for Diablo? That's literally what they implemented.
Oh, running the like mapping and Path of Exile.
Yep. Yep. That's literally all it was.
I
Is
know. I don't know who I got this from. It was either like Belior or a couple other guys that I watched that were covering the WoW thing. I know, like Blizzard as a whole lost like I'm not trying to like fake these numbers or something, but it was like maybe 20 million like active users. Now,
that's current.
when I say active users, this is like
That's
people like
that hold
playing
a
Blizzard and
subscription.
Activision games.
Yeah.
So
What?
this is like Call of Duty. This is all Activision Blizzard games. So one person could count for like 5 or 6 or 7.
Oh
So
shit.
so
True.
that's like playing Call of Duty, playing WoW, playing Diablo, playing Hearthstone, playing So it's a lot, like it's a high number, but like if you were to just like count people, I don't know what that range would be, but that's what like I heard from the news lately. It's a pretty low number. Like they
Mm-hmm.
dipped, but it's not like crazy because I think these numbers were as low as WAD around the time of WAD, but
Yeah.
the number around that time also it shot back up because Overwatch had just come out. This is the first time Overwatch is out,
Mm-hmm.
and like it shot up like crazy again. But I mean, I don't know. You know, it's a large number to lose, but subscriber wise on Blizz, like WoW, I don't know. So,
I
that's just what
I
I
feel
heard from
like
like the dudes I watch.
I feel like what's going on right now is they're not giving us like an actual number of people that play the game. They're only giving estimates and stuff. Like, think about it like this. Do you remember that WoW used to show their sub numbers? Like, you could go to the website and see how many people are actually subbed to WoW,
Like active subscribers, yeah.
active subscribers. They don't do that anymore. And you know why they don't do it, because they don't want people to think that they're weak or they're dying. But that's just the thing, is it is. WoW is 100% dying, and it's been killing itself for a long time. I would say, like, I used to think that Warlords of Draenor was bad, but I'm willing to say this right now, that Shadowlands is by far the worst expansion that's ever come out on WoW. And it was supposed to be
Worse than
one of the
BFA?
best. Oh, hell yeah, dude. BFA wasn't even as bad as Warlords of Draenor. Warlords of Draenor was stale. Super stale. It didn't have any content. It was boring.
Yeah, there was only like three
Bad
raids,
boring.
right?
Well, it wasn't even that, it was just the raids. It was like once you got to level, what was that, 100? No, 90. Let's see, wait.
Damn.
I think it
I
was
know.
90. No, 90 was MOP. It was 100. Once you got to level 100, there was nothing to do past that at all. Like, you were like trying to look for content to do, but you would go and play other games until raid time later that week. Or the dungeon grinds, all no. There was nothing to do for like the dungeon grinds. Sure, they had like challenge modes and stuff, but like people beat those in like a week. That wasn't even like a challenge or anything. That's why like the Mythic Plus came out. Mythic Plus came out in like
Yeah, that
Legion.
was around the time of Mythic release.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, dude.
Yep. But see, that was the problem. Was like Warlords of Draenor was a bad expansion, but what carried Warlords of Draenor was its PvP. Its PvP was fantastic. Like I don't know how to describe it other than like it was fun. Like they actually gave more shit about PvP in that expansion than they did in expansions before that and after that, leading up to BFA. BFA was more of a PvP driven experience, but overall, Warlords of Draenor was a bad expansion. But I would even be able to go as far as say that Shadowlands is the worst that they've ever released, and it's because like the story bores you. Like, it's predictable storytelling. BFA was very predictable. You could tell which way it was going. Even up to Nyalotha, when we had to go in there and fight the big baddie. I don't know. It's just so stupid. Like, they should have given us a lot more, but they just gave us like breadcrumbs and breadcrumbs.
I
And
think Shadowlands on its initial release was pretty good. Like everybody was jumping on WoW again, having a lot of fun. But once like for me at least, once we cleared like Castle Nathria heroic and we knew the guild wasn't going to try mythic, I think Blizzard sees like mythic as like, hey, this is content for you people. Why don't you do it? But I don't think Blizzard realizes a majority of its player base are pretty damn casual. They don't really
mm-hmm.
go hard like, with the rating. And that's
Yep.
why it kind of like dried up for me. I was like, well, there's nothing else to do. Like we one shot your boy, the Nathrius.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't want to make an alt because that's a pain in the ass. Like you said, Torghast on another alt. Fuck
Yeah.
that.
And another legendary that you have to farm, and that's going to lead us into like the next topic as well, because the next topic is like Final Fantasy 14 and why it's so great, why this MMO is so much better than we anticipated, than we thought it ever would have been. We've been hearing stories about it. We always like brush it to the side, but it wasn't until we actually tried it and watched was encapsulated by the story and just found a love for the game itself that I'm willing to say that Final Fantasy 14 saved MMOs in my opinion. Like I truly believe that. Like their expansions have all been fun. The PvP is not there. That's fine. I don't play Final Fantasy for the PvP. I play it for the PvE aspect. The raids or the Savage raids, a lot of fun. I've had nothing but fun with Savage content. I can't wait for Ultimate content now. I can't wait to see what that feels like to actually down Uwu or Ultimate Coils of Bahamut, which I think is Uwu.
I don't even know if we're gonna be able to reach that, man. I think we're a little too casual in our static.
Dude, look, we don't have to do it with that static though. We can have a Savage static, and then we can have people that we pull together and we go after ultimates with. Not everyone's going to want to go after ultimates, and that's completely fine. You don't even have to go after Savage content to enjoy Final Fantasy. There's so much stuff to do. You have professions, for instance, like Bacon. My good buddy Bacon only likes professions, and that's the only reason he would play Final Fantasy is for the professions. And then you have like your dungeons and everything, your daily grind, everything is fun in that game because it's not centered around bullshit that's like never ending bullshit. And that's why I feel like Final Fantasy right now has the market. Like they can grow so easily.
Yeah, that's true. It feels like instead of what World of Warcraft is, like you said, like chores,
Mm-hmm.
it feels like when you play Final Fantasy, it's more about the social aspect of it, making friends
Mm-hmm.
and being able to go on this amazing journey with other people. And whenever I play it, that's kind of how I see it. But I know there's those people who just, when they play an MMO, they just want to get a max level, get the best gear, call it a day. But if you actually like take the time and play Final Fantasy, it's a lot of like stuff to do in terms of like socializing with others.
That's
So
very true.
Cannon was like, why does Buzz have duct tape on the back of his monitor?
Well, what I was using it as is if you let me pull my mouse up. So what I used to do is pull my mouse cord up here and duct tape it so it like holds it away from like when I'm playing FPS games where I can slide and it
Yeah.
doesn't drag the mouse cord under and cause me to like miss shots or stuff like that.
I know back on the MMO topic, and Flames said we just grew up and nothing makes us exciting. For me, like an MMO to me is like leveling up constantly and feeling that power level increase. You're getting better gear, you're getting stronger as you level up. And I think one of the games that really got me going like that was like Maple Story, man.
Dude,
I don't know if you ever played. You probably never played that, but
no. I mean,
I
I know what
love
it
that whole
is.
idea of like when you die, you lose XP. Maybe I'm just a little too hardcore, but Maple Story was dope, man. Like when you saw people at like level 100 some and you're like level 70 and you're like, man, I want to be on that level. I want to get to that. There was a
Yeah.
motivation there.
I have this
So
really cool person that I'm kind of talking to right now that plays Maple Story, and she talks about it all the time. So,
who the hell is this? You ain't tell me about this girl.
well, I mean, it's a secret right now. We'll talk about it soon.
This better not be the damn scuba diving girl.
I mean, what if it is?
Oh, well, shit. Awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. She talks about it. I've never really like gotten into. Hey, look, there she is right there.
Are you shit talking, Supa?
Oh shit, super shit
Yo,
talking
Ava, what
over
up?
here. No,
I
but
didn't know who it was.
How you can put a name to a
Ava,
face.
are you tall? Because Buzz is tall.
No, no, she's not.
Oh.
She is very short. Nah, but
Yeah, man, Maple was my life. I played the fuck out of that game.
I never got into
Ye-
Maple. Like I never had any friends that played it, so I never had like an opinion on it.
I had so many Maple girlfriends. I was a whore.
You were? Oh
Yep.
shit. Damn, that's cute.
I don't know how
What
many of
did
them were
Bun
dudes though. Who knows?
what did
This is
Bun
like the
think about?
MySpace days, bro.
Oh. I guess Bun wasn't around for that. Bun would
She
kill
was
you,
playing.
dude.
Okay, so I asked her like around that age, like what she was playing. She was playing Dragon's Nest.
What? Dude, fuck yeah, she played Dragon's Nest? Dude,
I didn't play
anybody else
Dragon's
here?
Nest myself, but no,
You
I played
never
Maple.
played Dragon Nest. Oh my god. We have to go try that. I'm going to get you on Dragon's Nest and I just want you to play it. So they have a lot of classes that are very similar to Final Fantasy. Like there's a dancer class that it's sorta. It's not called a dancer, but they throw chakrams and I basically played that class. And it
Right.
was amazing. Like had really it's a very kid version of an MMO, Tony Avatar. That's the best way to describe it. It's like a kid
Yeah.
MMO. It doesn't have like super hard mechanics or anything, but it is very, very fun.
What was the
Very
name of the company that
addicting.
made Dragon's Nest?
I don't know. I can look it up. It's on my Steam. Um,
Because I know Nexon made Maple,
I think it
and
was
Nexon would go to make a couple other games like Combat Arms, Mabinogi, um, Atlantica. I think Atlantica was one. Dungeon Z Fighters, a couple other games, and
Didn't Nexon also make Lawbreakers?
I don't know. Was it Nexon?
I think so because I was at a gaming conference one
Silk
time
Road.
with
That's
Pete the
old.
Noob, and I got Nexon merch at a booth, and I'm pretty sure that Lawbreakers was what they were showing off that day.
Vindy, I forgot about that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Vindictus, dude. Oh my god.
Vindictus was definitely ahead of its time
Very true.
for what it was. It was like the first action RPG that really kind of like turned into what like action MMOs are today, like BDO and fucking Bless and what all the other ones that are like people are playing.
Dragon Nest was made by Identity Games, and it was released in
Who was the publisher?
2012. Identity Games.
They published it? Oh shit.
Yeah.
2012? Are you sure? Damn.
2012 was its release.
I don't know. See, I've never heard of Toontown. Well, I mean, I know you talk about it a lot, but I never played Toontown. It was
Wait,
not my thing. I didn't even
maybe
know.
maybe it was before that because I think this was Steam's published date.
Yeah,
Or
it's got to be Steam's because
I think it came out
2012.
in like
I graduated high school in
2007.
2012, so
I think it came out in like 2008, 2009, somewhere in there. I'm not going to say 2007, but that's probably like the earliest. Because I remember playing this. It was like on my first laptop that I ever owned, right beside WoW. And it was like whenever WoW kind of grew kind of boring during Wrath of the Lich King, I would hop on this, and it would keep me like entertained.
yeah, man. MMOs, they've definitely come a long way.
Who said Toontown? Who the fuck said Toontown?
Wolves.
Wizard 101. Y'all remember that? That's
Wasn't there
another
some
one.
game called like Adventure Quest?
Yeah. But an even better version of that was EverQuest. Adventure Quest was that side scroller strategy game. It was an MMO, but it was like you how do you describe it? Like you would build a team and that team would go on or that character would fight against like mobs, but it was like a side scroller adventure thing. I don't know. It was fun. I remember that
You can
was
tell
like one
Stan
of
was hella old, yeah.
ah,
I know. What was that one? See, I never really played RuneScape. A lot of people in my school were like, "Yo, you gotta play RuneScape, RuneScape, RuneScape," but my ass was playing Ragnarok online. Did you ever play RuneScape?
I played RuneScape. I was big on old
I
school.
don't know. I couldn't get into that shit. I was like, man, why is this box so small?
It's like
It was
farming
on. It was running on
simulator.
Java too, or whatever you call it.
Yes, dude. Dude. RuneScape was the shit though. I played back in like on school PCs, we would like download it through like a
Yeah,
website that we'd found and we'd play it like through a browser. But
it's
'cause, you know,
crazy
like
how that game is still so successful.
it's because like it's simple. It's go farm lots, go make lots of gold. The PvP was also very simple,
I
you know,
think
like
another thing was they
eat your
kept true to
fish.
their colors, at least when it came to old school RuneScape. They
Yeah.
stayed on the same path. They didn't veer away and kind of
Mm.
like feed into the casual.
Yep. It it was definitely a
Granted, I don't know
hardcore
about RuneScape
grinder.
2, but or whatever it is, the new one.
Yeah, I look, when RuneScape 2 came out, I tried it and their tutorial, you literally kill a giant fucking dragon in a basement. And I was like, nope, not interested. I was like, this is stupid. This is not what I wanted to play.
How far back did I play RO? Uh, Dude, I was like in 5th grade, man.
Dude.
I had some hoes on that game too.
But you played Ragnarok, right?
Yeah, it was $10 a month.
Did you ever
It's a sub.
play Ultima? Did you ever play
God,
EverQuest?
boing. I don't remember that shit, Kenan. I can hardly remember most of my RO days, man. I just followed my brother around
Um,
and watched him play, and then I would get on when he got tired and play a little bit. I
I
didn't get to
got
play as much, but
one more topic that I want to ask about. Where do you think like the industry as a whole for gaming is going? Do you think it's going into a positive place, or do you think like all the stuff that's happening with Blizzard and all these other companies, do you think that's going to be like a detriment to the gaming as a whole, or do you think it's
uh,
going to be like we're going to kind of just shake that off and we're going to like continue down a good cultural path, because that's what gaming is after all, is just a giant culture battle.
I think that we might be in for some dark times, man. So I'm being honest with you.
About what though?
I
Like
just
dark
feel like
times involving what?
gaming is not, what it used to be.
Mhm.
It's all about the money now. That's probably what a lot of people will tell you.
Oh
It's
yeah.
more about the business aspect. A lot of, big heavy suit guys, they don't really care about games. They just want to make money off the games.
Yeah, they don't care about the culture that like comes with being a
They
gamer.
don't
They only
care about
care
having
about
fun. They care
yeah.
about taking that $60 from you,
Mhm.
aka a couple of $60 games I've played that, I won't name them, but yeah.
Back for Blood.
I actually think Back for Blood's pretty good.
It's a good game, but dude, it's not worth $60.
Come on,
That's the
don't tell me you weren't
problem.
having fun that night. We were wrecking some kids on PV. That shit was dope, though.
Oh, dude, see that's fun and all, but I'm talking about it not
I
being
mean, it is
fun.
free on Game Pass, so
True.
that's
True, it
probably
is.
the incentive for people to get Game Pass is to get Back for Blood.
Yeah, absolutely. I just feel like as a whole right now, gaming has a long ways to go. Like we're still in its infant stage. We're not that old when it comes to like culture, if you think about it. Like culture is built over hundreds and hundreds of years, and our culture in the gaming industry is very young. And sure, there's a lot of suits right now that just want to like grab at the money because they're seeing that gaming is actually a very, very big form of entertainment. But like I said, we're still super young in the culture war, and I feel like in time we will see like major drastic changes. We will see the dark times, but just like religion, dude, religion had a really big following for a long time and it fell off and then it came back, and it really just depends on like how we are able to like just keep the culture going. Like at the end of the day, it is a culture game, and I don't know. With time, we'll figure it all out. But that's all I
Um,
have for you today, guys. that's going to be the end of this episode of Gaming Insight. If you did like this episode, make sure you go and follow both me and Supa on all our social media, guys. It really does help. We got a Twitch. We got a YouTube. We got lots of stuff. It'll all be linked in the description below on YouTube. And if you're following us on any of these other podcast sites, I just want to go and say, go check out youtube.com/Supabounce, youtube.com/BusterWow. You can check us out there. You can check us out live streaming just about every day on twitch.tv/BusterWow and twitch.tv/Supabounce. That's going to be it for Gaming Insight Episode 1. If you liked it, make sure you share this with your friends. And we'll see you on the next Buzz Out. Bye-bye. Supa, would you like to say anything? Any closing remarks?
No, that's it. I'll catch you guys later.
Hell yeah.